Hello everybody, it's Vicky, Messy Stitcher here. I hope everybody's really well. As usual, it seems to have been, it's just like a curse over how often I think I'm going to be able to do videos, because it seems to always be at least 2 months in between videos. So I think I'm kind of given up apologising for that, because I think I'm just going to accept that I just upload videos as and when I can. The good news is, I guess, is every time I do upload a video, it means I have quite a lot to show you, which is good. Apologies about the slight difference in kind of setting. I've got some random furniture behind me. We have a really large window in our bedroom where I usually film, and it just gets actually a little bit overwhelming how hot it is, the sun coming through. So I actually thought you might get better light in this room, which is our spare bedroom, which is good. I'm not going to give you too much of a life update, because I think that tends to take up too much time, but just in terms of what I've been up to, obviously last time I saw you I just had my birthday, and yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months. Work's been as manic as ever. I've been enjoying it, but it's been really busy. We've got a big event that I'm our sort of organisational away days that are, you know, I'm organising the next kind of couple of months really, which will take place in November, and I have a feeling that's going to take over my life for a while. I've got a couple of nice breaks coming up. I'm going to a kind of country park type holiday with my friend over this weekend coming, and I have a friend's hen do in Paris for a weekend soon in November. And then me and my partner will be going to Berlin for the Christmas markets, kind of late November, early December. So I've actually been quite spoiled this year with how many opportunities I've had to kind of get away. So I'm trying to think of work as in blocks, and just kind of try and just subscribe myself to the fact that things are going to be really busy until the end of December. So we'll see. So I guess first things first, just in terms of what I'm going to be doing this video, it's going to be a really long video. It might be ridiculously long actually, because I've got loads to show you. If it does get to the point where either I feel really tired talking, or I think you're going to completely zone out, then I will turn it off. I guess as usual, the usual disclaimer that, you know, if you get bored and you don't want to see all of this video, I will not be offended at all if you just want to skip over or find the parts that are interesting to you. Thank you again to all of my subscribers, to everybody that's watched or commented on videos. I do apologise for not commenting back most of the time. It's just, as I think I've explained, the setup on the phone that I have makes it very difficult for me to see notifications from YouTube, and it just means basically that unless I physically go into one of my videos, I don't really tend to see that people have commented. I do really appreciate it when I read them. I'd love to get to a point where I was sort of regularly answering questions and things like that, but I think you'd be waiting a really long time for an answer. But I just wanted to kind of explain that I do really appreciate everything. I'm also 900 and something subscribers now, which is really great, and I'd be so happy if I got to 1,000. So if I did get to 1,000, I'm going to have a think about anything in my stash that I might be able to give away as a kind of thank you. It might not be anything amazing or anything particularly sort of valuable, but I'm sure there are things within my stash that I could part with, just to say thank you. So without further ado, the first thing I kind of wanted to share with you is, I'm not going to kind of talk about it too much because this is obviously separate to this channel, but as you know, as I sort of explained in an earlier video, I have a condition called premature ovarian insufficiency, or premature menopause is the easiest way to explain it. And I've been setting myself a stitching challenge for the month of September, which I'm currently in now. So the Daisy Network is the nominated charity in the UK that I've decided to raise money for, because it's the charity in the UK that helps support women like me. As I think I've explained before, you know, when I was diagnosed, very little knowledge or support was given at all to help me kind of navigate through. The Daisy Network is a really small charity, but a very well run charity that helps to support women through things like groups, raising awareness, contributing to medical research, and just generally aiming to have much greater awareness among people about premature menopause and infertility. So I kind of got to the point where, this was 2 years ago since my diagnosis, and I really thought it was time to do something more positive about it, as it's been obviously, not the best time in my life. So what I decided to do is something called a daisy stitch, which is basically, I took the symbol of the charity, which is a daisy, and I wanted to do something with that. So I'm doing a few things. Every day for September, so for 30 days, I am sending out a stitched daisy in a card with awareness information on, handmade card, to 30 of my female friends and family to raise awareness of POI and its symptoms and side effects. And I'm also posting a regular daily blog on my Facebook page about infertility and POI related issues. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I've been really amazed at the response that I've got, and I've raised nearly £1,000 now, so I'm really happy and really grateful to everybody that's helped. But one thing that has meant is that I am absolutely sick of stitching daisies, so it was a personal challenge for my stitching as well. I wanted to involve something that I loved in the course, because I think if I could kind of make it something that I enjoy, and also make it a challenge, because I look at YouTubers like, some of the people I watch, and I just think the willpower and the kind of determination to finish projects that aren't always as, as interesting or exciting as we wanted them to be. I really admire that, because I kind of tend to flit around and switch between different projects. So it was kind of a way of testing myself as well to see, can I stick with something, and throughout the month it is going to be a real challenge for me. So stitching the same daisies over and over again. So it's been going well. As I say, I've got a little bit bored of stitching the same thing, but I think when I think back to what cause I'm doing it for, it keeps me going. So here is a picture on my phone of the daisies that I've been stitching. Every one of them looks like that. They're taking me they started off taking me about an hour. They seem to be taking me about 40 minutes now, so I think I've sped up a bit. I haven't got any kind of live ones to show you, because the most recent ones I've put in the post, but I am using this, I'm using this perforated sort of plastic aider. I bought it in Hobbycraft, for those of you from the UK. I was wondering if anybody might be able to tell me why I don't know if it's really showing, but you might be able to see there's these sort of harder squares on it in some places. I'm not sure why that would be. I've actually really loved stitching on it, because unlike any kind of fabric, it doesn't fray. I've been able to just really, I think that's partly why I've been able to stitch so quickly, is that, obviously it's so sort of easy to see the holes. And it's got me thinking about maybe using some of it for some Christmas decorations or something. So I'm going to have a think about the best way to use this in the future, because I really enjoy it actually. It's something that I thought I'd find a little bit, not quite proper stitching or something, but I've really enjoyed seeing things come together quickly on it. And as I say, I'm just working on the kind of willpower thing of having to stitch a daisy a day. I will be completely honest, there are because of a couple of things that are going on, so arrangements that I've had, for example, I'm not in a position every day to do that. So what I've tried to do in sometimes is get a few days ahead. So it's not technically true that I'm stitching a daisy every single day. It's more accurate to say that some days I've stitched a daisy a day, and other days I've stitched a few for the next few days, because I know I'm having a busy week, for example. But it's still 30 days worth of stitching, 30 daisies. So just to show you an example card that I've done with nobody's name on it that you don't know. So this says Vicky on it because it was just an example. So I've got these kind of ink stamps that I've been kind of doing a daisy and people's names, and then I've been kind of sending them kind of a slip of paper with signs and symptoms of the illness. And I don't want to show too much because it's got some of my personal details on it, because they're obviously going to people I know. But yeah, so it's been really exciting project, and it's had an amazing response. But it has, the only thing that I'd kind of say from a stitching point of view is that it stopped me being able to make much progress on other projects that I really wanted to get done by Christmas. And this is what I say all the time every year, and it is what it is. If I don't get something done, I don't get it done. But it would be nice to finish a couple of things that I've got working on for Christmas, because I wanted them to be presents, or I've got so far, and it would be a shame So it's been hard, to be honest, to really some days I've said, oh, you know, I'll work on this other project because I've already kind of stitched daisies, but to be honest with you, it's been hard to find time to do both. So I've kind of accepting that for September I'm probably not going to get an awful lot done, but then in October I'd really like to kind of have something quite structured. As I say, I'm not normally a stitcher that has lots of kind of timetables and schedules in place, but I might actually build on the good practice of having this daily kind of tasks to kind of remind me that it's possible for me to do stitching every day and to make progress every day. And if I made the same amount of stitches in a project as I did on the daisies each day, that would probably mean that I'd get things finished before Christmas. So I really kind of want to keep the momentum up. So it's been really good in terms of my stitching. Cold tea as usual. It's been really good in terms of me learning discipline in stitching. I think overall stitching's a really fun thing for me. I see it very much as a hobby. I don't tend to put too many boundaries or limits on things. But one of the things I slightly like to improve is my ability to kind of stick at it and kind of, if I reach a boring point in a project, actually go through it. And I feel like this project's going to help me do that, which is really good. So that's just something I wanted to share. It is stitchy related, but not strictly just stitchy related. So let's get things started. So in the process of a couple of months ago, I think a couple of videos ago, I remember telling you that I'd actually filmed a whole video, and because I had so many technology problems, it was so long by the time I got the opportunity to post that I decided not to do it. So there I was thinking, oh, I've actually shown you all my magazine wish lists and stuff, but actually I haven't, because I did in that video and it never got uploaded. So the only things I'm aware that I've shown you is my ultimate cross stitch guides, which are the kind of special edition ones that I have. I also can see from one of my kind of past videos that I'd shown you my cross stitch gold. So I'm going to show you cross stitch crazy stitch list today. I'm not sure how many of you in the US, I get the impression that you can buy British cross stitch magazines where you are. It's very difficult to get US cross stitch magazines over here. I don't know if other people get them online, but if you go into kind of a standard craft shop here, you don't tend to find them. So you may have more of our magazines than we do of yours. So I haven't ever really seen an American Flosstube mention the Cross Stitch Crazy magazine, but it's one of the you know, the front running cross stitch magazines over here. So I thought I'd take you through. This will be quite nice for me actually, because it's been a long time since, you know, every now and then I like to rummage through my magazines and have a look at some of the projects that, you know, I'm interested in doing, and I haven't done that for a while. So remember, you know, me telling you about my stitch roulette where I'm just going to randomly choose a project every now and again. Come payday this month, when I've got a bit more money, I am going to promise myself you know, to get the materials for a project, and that will fit in quite nicely with the October Knit and Stitch show in London that I'll hopefully be going to in October. I don't know 100% yet. So I'd like to, at the end of September, choose a project that I can kind of buy the materials for there, which would be nice. So because we've got lots to get through, let's do this first and then I'll see how I get on with other stuff. So I'm going to go in order. So this starts with August 2014 edition. And I'm going to show you, so some of these I have loads of projects I like, others there's barely anything. So this is a Country Companions piece that takes roughly 35 hours. This one here. It's hard to, I don't know if anybody else finds this, but it's hard to actually find the official name of the pattern, because you'll have like a thing like Twice as Mice, which is the name of the page, and then in the corner, in the contents page or in the corner of the page, it might call it something else. So I never really know what's the official name, but let's just say, you know, this is what it is. So that's one of them. And I should probably say the ones that I've picked out, I do like them all, but I like them to varying degrees. So not everything I'm going to show you I absolutely love, but, you know, I think these are the ones that I'd consider stitching. That's actually all the ones in there. Next one that I have is November 2014. This was before I was subscribing. I subscribe now. So this was obviously some kind of Christmas edition. Oh no, sorry, I haven't actually got anything in this one. Sometimes I've put post-its for adverts and things when I've seen an advert for a product, but I won't show that. So the next one I've actually got something for is Christmas 2014, and I've noticed that Cross Stitch Crochet does a Christmas edition and a November and December edition. So I'm assuming, I'm never sure when this is, but obviously they get two issues out. So this is a lovely Joan Elliott piece. Santa's Coming. It's a 'Twas the Night Before Christmas one. So it's a really lovely piece. I've seen this in a few other magazines. So I don't think it's exclusive because I've seen this a few other places as well. Hopefully you can see that. I also have, yeah, no, that's it for that one. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at these at the same time. That one. There's occasionally post-its where I've kind of put in, you know, where there's an advert for something else, but I'm just going to show you the main ones that I've highlighted from the actual magazine itself. Okay, so this is from the January 2015 edition, and this is a project by Maria Diaz, and it's rhyme time, so it's this lovely little kind of hanging with nursery rhyme patterns on it, which I thought was quite cute. As ever with baby type designs, I always think that I'm going to do them for friends' children or my nephews or my niece, and then by the time I even get round to doing it, they're too old. So chances are I'll wait for somebody else to have a baby and then I'll give it to them. The next one is the February 2015 edition, and this is a Tatty Teddy design. So Tatty Teddy is a DMC type project. I'm not sure if you have Tatty Teddy in America, but this is one of their designs. It's a me to you there. I just thought that was really nice. I can see it would be boring to stitch the grey, but actually it's a really lovely design. I seem to have a lot in this one actually. Oh, this is one by April Rose Illustration, and this one, my friend is absolutely obsessed with butterflies. She loves anything to do with butterflies, so this isn't really to my taste, but this is probably something that she would really like. So whenever I see something like that, I tend to kind of put a post-it on it anyway. And I don't know if you can see, but that is actually polka dot Ada, which I've never worked on sort of patterned. I've worked on dyed but not patterned Ada before, so that would be quite nice. So that's that one. Yep, so the next one is March 2015 edition. And this is by Lucy Heaton, and it's obviously a Rapunzel design again. I think at the time I thought it would be nice in my niece's room, but I think she's a bit too old now, so maybe somebody else. I've got enough children in my family and friends circles and stuff to find somebody. These were cute. I'm sure some of you have come across designs by Emma Congdon in UK magazines before. She's one of my favourite designers, though she's got a really kind of typographic kind of style. So these are rainbow ones, so weather ones. Come rain or shine, here comes the sun, we'll weather together and somewhere over the rainbow. So I thought they were nice. I thought Coffee Stitcher might like that one. Not because it's Wizard of Oz, but because it's Judy Garland, who was in Wizard of Oz. I've got a horrible feeling I've got that wrong now and I'm going to look stupid. But yeah, if you're watching, sorry, my knowledge of films is obviously not great. But it just made me think of Coffee Stitch, and made me think of something that you might enjoy. The next one, oh, this is a nice one. So this is the April 2015 edition, and I really like this one. This is a Ed and Edwina Hedgehog. It's a Country Companions piece. It's lovely. It's just too. This reminds me of my childhood. It's something that my mum would like. So I'll take that one. And this is nice. This is a Peter Rabbit design by Anchor, and I love Peter Rabbit. So, Beatrix plus story. Yeah, that's it from that one. Yeah, so the next one is the May 2015 edition. And this is by Hell's Couple-Ditch, and this is like a fairground panda design, which is really cute. Really like that. This is one I will show you. It's not actually a pattern in the magazine, but I really like it. It's the Sun Bunny to Love collection by DMC, and I've always wanted to stitch that one. I've kind of highlighted that because it's one that I've seen in the shops quite a lot, that I'm going to keep my eye out for. This is nice. This is a burst sample by Leslie T. I like a lot of Leslie T stuff. Quite cute. I like children's things. I think, you know, like I've got what's really lovely is that I've got a lot of friends and family with children, so I get to kind of there's quite a lot of people that I can stitch for, that I've got the option of stitching for, so I can see things that don't necessarily apply to me but still do them. So this is the June 2015 edition, and I've got here. Oh, these were just cute little things. These are a designer I haven't heard of before, Heather Nugent, and it was just the ends of little pencil cases to make them look like camper vans. I thought that was quite cute. I'm not good at actual sewing though, so I'm not sure whether I'd be able to finish them. This is the July 2015 edition. And this was the main one from his. This is Emma Congdon again, and this is really nice. And I actually thought this would be nice in my kitchen, strawberries and cream. The next one is the August 2015 edition. There's quite a few in this one. So this is lovely. This is a design by Jane Henderson, and it's supposed to travel by train Cornwall. So this was kind of one that I thought my grandma might like. I actually went to a lot of holidays to Cornwall. For those that you don't, not from England, that Cornwall is kind of on the southwest coast, by the seaside, so it's kind of quite a popular sort of holiday destination. And I've been there a lot as a child, but my grandma went for a special holiday with her sister one year, and I thought that might be quite a nice way of commemorating it, because they don't get to see each other very much. It is on size 14, Ada, but the stitches seem really large, so I might take it to a 16. This is another one by Hell's Couple-Ditch, which is another design I like, another sort of fairground design, which I thought was cute. These were nice by Tiny Modernist. These were just simple, they're cards I think actually, but they're little castles, obviously, pink one and a blue one there. Next one is the September 2015 edition. Oh, this was really lovely. This is a design by Maria Dyers, and it's on polka dot beige linen. It's really lovely, or Ada, I think it's linen. I thought it was really, really nice. I like the whole kind of background that's been chosen as well, so that would be really nice as a cushion. This is by Jaren Jones, who does some really nice kind of fairy type designs. That was nice. See, that almost everything I seem to show is something to do with children's designs. I don't know what that says about me. Oh yeah, so this is the October 2015 issue, and this is a design by Shannon Wasilef. I'm sorry if I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but these are lovely kind of Paris cafe type places, patisseries, florists. I thought they were really nice and would be nice kind of companion pieces for, you know, for a kitchen or something. This is November 2015, and we have so this was the Emma Congdon Advent Calendar. I thought this was really nice. It's got quite a kitsch style, which is my kind of cup of tea. So that would be quite nice for me to work on for Christmas. I have a feeling that's not going to happen this year, but it might be a nice project for me to do throughout the year. I think I'm not going to add anything else to my list of possible things to get done for Christmas. So I've got enough. I've got 2 or 3 main things that I'd like to get done, and that will do me. The next one is the Christmas 2015 issue, and there is one that I'd like to show you, but I guess I'm never really sure because it's just a pattern, and there is no kind of cover page of it. And I suppose, you know, I've paid for this magazine, so I shouldn't. It's one of Taylor Swift anyway. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, so I'll do that at some point. This one's nice. This is by Lucy Heaton, and one of my favourite stories is The Chronicles of Narnia. So it's the Snow Queen. I thought that was quite nice. I don't know if it's meant to be the Snow Queen, but I've decided that it is. This is the December 2015, so we're going back to sort of a year ago. Well, not a year, just under a year ago now. I'm quite excited because I've started to get Christmas issues through the post. What you'll see when I'm nearly at the bottom of the pile now is I'm very behind with my magazines at the moment. There's quite a lot that I haven't read. I've probably got 5 or 6 that I haven't read. Yeah, I'm a bit behind. So there'll be some that I don't even know what's in there at the moment. But my plan after this video is to sit down with a cup of tea. And I feel like I'm always watching TV at the moment. So I'm actually going to take some time to sit down and kind of read the magazines. This is another one by Emma Congdon, Surprise Surprise. I think this is lovely. It's a little ice skating scene. It's really nice looking through these actually, because I forget about these things that I picked out. This is nice. This is Rona Norrie, so this is lovely, and this gives me, you know, an idea of how I can use plastic canvas. So these are lovely little kind of gingerbread canvas buntings, which is really nice. Really hot in this room. Really hot, so that's everything for that. One thing that really bugs me about magazines, and it could just be me being, I don't know, it's me being silly, but every single cross-stitch magazine seems to have an advert for Heritage Crafts on the back. I mean, I'll say personally, Heritage Crafts, I never see anything of their designs that I particularly like myself, but it's fine. People are obviously entitled to. What I find a bit of a shame is having the same advert at the back of each magazine, because you think, oh, what about those kind of other companies that could do with some advertising and a bit of variety? But I guess they're a big company, they can afford to do it, that's fine. But it's just a shame because you flip over and it's the same stuff, and I sort of feel like it'd be nice to see an advert for pole stitches or something, but never mind, that's alright. April 2016 issue. So this is jumping forward a bit because I've got some magazines that I have almost finished but I haven't completely yet, and I haven't post noted them, so it kind of jumps forward a bit now to April. And this is one of my favourite ones. So this is an exclusive design. It actually doesn't say who the designer is, but to me it looks like Leslie Tier, and I wonder if they've forgotten to include her as a credit. Little background horse, which is lovely. Yeah, it is Leslie Tier, they just forgot to mention her on the credit page. There's a few little bits and pieces that aren't probably worth sharing too much. So I went a bit post-it crazy on this issue. I think I've put them everywhere. Oh, these were quite cute. This isn't my usual type of thing at all, but I just thought these were quite nice. So these are Egg Cozies by Jenny Barton with hens on. I kind of like the whole country kitchen thing. So I thought they were nice, and I don't know who on earth would use them, but I'm sure I'd find somebody to use them. And yeah, that's it for that one. Okay, the next one is May 2016. Another celebrity stitch that I can't show you because there's no cover page, but it's David Bowie, which I will eventually do for my mum when I get round to it. The next one is designed by Jodie Rice, and it's Wizard of Oz 1, which Coffee Stitch will definitely approve of. There you go. I've seen a couple of other people mention this actually on Flosstube, so. Joanne Jones did some lovely baby cards. Trying to think. So here's the first page of them. Got different colour palettes there. Feels like I've always got a baby to send a card to, so this probably I should start stocking up on them. Nobody's had twins yet, actually. There you go. Oh, this is quite sad because my hamster has now passed away, but at some point I did see these and I liked the hamster one, but it's a bit late now. He's gone. And I'm not going to get another one because we've got a cat and we spent 5 months trying to stop her from eating him, so I thought it's only fair we leave her to it now. And then the latest one that I've posted so far is the June 2016 issue, so I am a bit behind. And just a couple in here, I think. So this is a nice one. This is a Primrose Fairy. It's in the Flower Fairies brand. So that's nice. Sort of a spring design. This is another little tatty teddy one actually, but it's like a baby design. Seem to have loads of post-it notes in these. Oh, these were quite cute. These were Jane Henderson. These were little ideas for, well, they've actually a sweets and candy kind of ABC, but I think actually they could be quite, you know, I could do something similar, could be used to stick on something. So that's actually my whole Cross Stitch Crazy collection but up till, sorry I had a mind blank then, but up till now, so it's a big hefty. This is my favourite cross stitch magazine in the UK, which is why I've got so many. The next one, which I'm fairly sure I haven't shown you, so I do apologise if I have, but I can't find any evidence flicking through my videos that I've shown you these ones. So there's a magazine called Cross Stitcher, which is in the UK. Again, I don't hear too many people saying that they get it in the US, but maybe you do. I used to really like it when I first started getting properly back into cross stitch again, because it's quite modern, the designs are a little bit fresh, a little bit bolder. I was subscribing, and the reason I stopped is that because one thing I would say is it's a good magazine in terms of quality of the designs, but there is, I think, you don't get a huge value for money, to be honest, because it kind of feels a little bit like they put some 4 or 5 main ones in, and there's some standard pages that are always at the back, so things like how to, you know, the basics of cross stitch, and then there's a feature on learning a new craft, and that's really good, but sometimes I think it kind of takes away from the kind of amount of content. So that's why I like Cross Stitch Crazy, because they have letters, they have photos of other people's projects, and they have a real mix of different ability kind of projects. So it seems a bit of a shame, you know, that Cross Stitch doesn't quite have that same amount of content. But you know, I still, it's the kind of magazine now that if I see it on the newsstand, I'll pick it up and I'll buy it if it appeals to me. But it's not, you know, something that I would buy every month. You'll probably see what I mean about the difference in some of the projects. So some of the ones I'm going to show you, some of the older ones are actually my aunt's. My aunt subscribes and she's collected a lot over the last couple of years, and she just didn't have room for them anymore and offered me them. And then some of the more recent ones are the ones that I was probably subscribing to about a year or so ago, probably 2 years ago now. So let's carry on. So I've got one issue that I don't feel like I've even looked at properly, so I'm gonna wait. So this one, first one I've got is December 2013 issue, and this is Emma Congdon design. I think this must be when she was, looking back, this was probably when she was starting to get designs published, I think. I thought that was nice. See what I mean? They're kind of quite modern ones in these magazines. These are lovely. So these are by, here's this designer, Rebecca Tufnell. So these are like little stuffed ones that you can do, which I think are really lovely. This is probably going to make me want to go back and subscribe to the magazine now. There's another design as well within the same collection, which is this one here. It's lovely. This is a really nice one. This is by Floss and Mischief, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really different. I like the kind of, it's simple but it's really modern and striking, which I like. And then this one's really nice. This is sort of a retro design by somebody called Angela Paul. I thought it was really cute. Okay, so this one is the January 2014. The main cover one, which is by Lucy Heaton. This is Magpie. Looks quite different to Lucy Heaton's normal style, actually. I thought that was really cool. This is Maria Diaz, Chinese Dragon. Really cool. This one is by Mr. Cross Stitch. That was cool. That reminds me of something my stepdad would like. So they must, I can only kind of conclude that certain, you know, it probably makes sense, doesn't it, that certain cross stitch magazines must have certain deals with particular designers, because, you know, I've never seen a Mr. Cross Stitch design in Cross Stitch Crazy, but I've seen them in Cross Stitcher. So my back's really hurting, actually. I must be sitting at a strange angle. So this is the February 2014 issue, and there was only one in here. This is a stuffed doll, which is quite nice, by Angela Paul. I thought it was nice, a bit retro. There's a couple that I obviously didn't think much of. Some of these I can't show you the front cover of, because for whatever reason, I think what happened was there was a time when I was sending certain patterns to a pen pal, and through tearing off the right pages, like I think sometimes I needed the back page, the cover fell off. So I can tell you what edition they're from, but I can't actually show you the front page, which is a bit annoying. This is the April 2014. Sorry, I've just got text. I was making a bit anxious. No, it's just my brother. This is so April 2014 edition, and this was one. This was one of the first ones I remember seeing in the magazine. I really liked. I thought that's nice. I think it's in one of the Ultimate Cross Stitch ones as well, in the home edition, I think. This is a design by Maria Dias. I have a feeling I may have shown some of these designs actually. I'm starting to feel like I'm repeating myself a bit from something I've done before, so I'm sorry if I have. This is May 2014. Oh yeah, this is a famous one. This is Emma Conga, and this is one that I think a lot of people have done in different colourways as well. Keep meaning to get around to it. This one here. Oh, this is. I actually have a feeling I showed you these designs when I first started my channel, but I think I'll just refresh, and I'm sorry, you know, please do skip over if you've seen all this before. So this is the June 2014. I'm going to flick through these quite quickly because, as I say, I've probably shown people before. Strawberry. Oh yeah, strawberry sample. If anybody, I mean, as I say, I do sometimes find it hard to find my comments, but if anybody, you know, it doesn't urgently need to know, but does have a question about one of these designs, I can obviously, you know, answer that. This is a one I actually started to stitch this and didn't actually finish it, and it was on a very rustic linen, brown linen, and it didn't really work actually. I tried to do it with metallic threads, and it was a bit of an experiment when I wasn't very used to stitching on linen, and it looked very messy and didn't really work. So I might try it again with the benefit of being a better stitcher now, but I think if I was to do that one, I would stick to the white. Oh, this is really nice. I've always wanted one of these. There you go. Okay. That's that. The next one, I can show you the cover. This is the July 2014. And Asking Ban. But sorry, I'm forgetting to tell you who these by. I think in the interest of speed, I will speed through them because the designer is a bit more hidden in these magazines. But if you do have any kind of questions, do ask, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. This is one I think I'd probably do for my brother. That is just cool for some reason. I just like it. And actually, we have an ongoing joke in this house that we're constantly doing washing, so having a laundry cross stitch probably would be quite applicable. This is summer 2014. I think this must be similar to a Christmas edition where they must do some kind of additional one. That's quite cool. I'd possibly change the colours and make them pink or something, just to make it a bit different. So I'm not overly keen on grey, but we'll see as I get to it. Yeah, this is one that I was hoping to do for a friend ages ago and I never did. It really seems to pop on the page anyway on even weave. I don't think it would look quite as good on Ada, but it could be done on Ada. Another one for Coffee Stitcher. There is no place like home on gingham Ada. And this one's nice. My mum liked this actually, and I think this was around the time my cousin was expecting, and we thought this might be quite good for their son. So that's that one. August 2014 edition. That's quite nice. It's summery, retro, 60s looking. I'm going to guess that's Maria Diaz. No, it's not actually. It's Felicity Hall. Sometimes I think I know who the designer is and I get a bit ahead of myself. This is nice. This is like I really like it. It's not coming up very well, but it's on like a really fresh kind of powdery green even weave. This is the September 2014 edition. Excuse the ripped page. I don't have very good storage for my magazine, so everything tends to get a bit. I'm not too precious about what they look like. Actually, they get ripped and torn and everything. I thought that was quite nice as a cushion, and again, possibly one for my friend. Oh, so this is complicated because this is one of those issues where there's two. So this was an issue. This was near Christmas. This was the October 2014 one, and it came with a Bell and Boo special. And the design I might show you an update on later. The one with the girl sitting in the armchair with a mug of cocoa. That came from this magazine. So I love Bell and Boo designs. I think they're really nice. They've got really kind of 60s, 70s retro feel to them. So this was one that I liked. I pretty much liked all of the designs. Another one, obviously they're all very wintry and Christmassy. It's funny, isn't it? Depending on the designer, it can look like a piece of sewing or it can look like an actual kind of picture. It just depends. Another one. It's really nice. Oh, this is lovely, this one. Okay. I can't tell if I'm showing you properly. Okay, nice. I think that was, yeah, all of the ones that I liked about that issue. Oh, there's a normal issue one as well. Oh yeah, this was nice. This was an Emma Congdon one that I thought was just kind of quite cute. There's also a cup warmer that goes with it as well. This is the November 2014 issue. This is really nice. Quite a kind of clean, modern design. I thought about doing that for my mum one year and I never got around to it. I'll probably be 60 before I get any of these done. Another quite kitsch one there, retro stocking. I think actually looking particularly at these ones, this is where, because the cross stitch crazy is so varied, with the cross stitcher one you can really start to probably get a sense of what my taste is in things. Oh look, this is the December 2014 one, and you've got a plastic canvas one by Emma Congdon. Sun to please stop here. Oh, some lovely typographic cushions. And calories don't count at Christmas, I wish. Bad. Next issue is January 2015. Oh, these are cool. Again, quite retro. And this one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well. This is a very kind of delicate lace design. It's very faint, and it's kind of like a very faint pastel pink in a kind of a lace design on a sort of rustic linen cushion, which I thought was nice. This is the February 2016 issue. I'm in two minds about this. Part of me loves it and part of me hates it. So I don't know whether that's one that I would naturally do. I might take that off my wish list because I don't think I'd actually be that keen on this one. This one is really lovely. This is a kind of a trio of designs that I'd really like to do for some friends for various things. This is a kind of a wedding trio, so I guess you could either do all three for one person, or you could do, if you had 3 weddings coming up, which isn't out of the ordinary, you could perhaps do one for each person. This is really nice. This is the March 2015 issue, and I thought this was really sweet for a little boy or a girl. sort of a little school bag design, which was really nice. Originally. Oh, this is really nice. I really want to do this, and I forgot about this. Rainy day. English. It's always raining here. It's always raining. We've barely had a summer this year. This is quite sweet. This is the I don't know if I'd have the patience to keep going over the same thing all the time, but I suppose it's quite methodical in that you can get one done at a time for you cat lovers out there. Nearly finished. So this is the May 2015 edition, and you've got a shelf, kitchen cupboard larder type shelf design, which is quite cool. Oh, this is nice. I kind of forgot about this. This is like a country theme. And then last but not least, we have the September 2015 edition, which is probably the most recent one that I've got. This is nice. This is a sort of little set of ballerina designs. Oh, more laundry related things. A laundry delicate bag. That's quite cool. Oh, these are nice. These are Emma Condon designs, like baking related cards. Nice. Oh, yeah, so that seemed to take ages, but yeah, so that is my magazines. I don't have any others now to show you. I think I've now shown you all of my magazines that I've got. So next up would just be whips, really. So there's not an awful lot to say about the whips that I've got, because actually, to be honest with you, I haven't got much done other than these daisies I've been stitching, and I can't remember whether since we last, there's probably been tiny amounts of progress on each whip. So you might remember my frosted pumpkin Christmas advent calendar. It seems to be going on forever, but this is the one I absolutely have to get done for this Christmas. After these daisies, this is my kind of top priority. So I've made quite good progress on this. I think the difference since last time I saw you is that I've started to kind of do more on this third house. In my mind, there's not absolutely loads to get done. It's probably achievable, but I will need to kind of get on with it. And this is the one where the fabric smells really awful, because I took it on holiday to Croatia, and me being me, I wasn't particularly careful about keeping it all protected and safe. It's got sun cream and food smells and everything on it, so I am going to need to sort something out to make it not completely stink when I give it to her. This is probably another one of what I've called my active whips. Again, I haven't really done that much since I last showed it to you in my last vlog. My last vlog, this was a new design that I think I got some on my birthday. This was Gold Collection Santa's Nap. And really, it's not a very, this is what I mean about when you start a cross stitch, it always seems to be at the most boring place. Oh, actually, that's funny, I've done more than I thought I would have done. So if you can see, I've done, probably doesn't look that clear, but that's like sort of his rosy red nose and cheeks and lips and a bit of his beard. So I went on to his skin because I couldn't face doing any more white beard. So this is, obviously it is a Christmas design. It's not one that I have any intention of getting done this year, and that definitely wouldn't happen. It'd be nice to get it done for next year, but it's one that I really like, but it's not one that I'm overly concerned about getting done anytime soon. And the next one is not, I kind of hesitate to call it a whip because it was one of my birthday presents and I've only really done a small portion of it so far. But I kind of started it because one day I felt like it. But Mirabilia, so this was Fairy Flora, and this was a birthday present from my mum. I just thought it was such a good choice of hers, because if I was to choose a Mirabilia, it would probably be this one. So it's quite fairy tale like. I've done very little of this, and it's really just showing you the tiniest amount that I've got done. So I guess I've done kind of the top, some of the top part. I don't think you could even see it through this top part of her dress. There's not a lot, really not a lot to see on that one. This fabric is really fraying, so I need to sort something out for it. I hate doing, you know, like having to you know, sort something out for the frame, so it's not really my speciality, but I think I am going to need to, you know, either put a stitch around the edge or just do something like tape just to get it. So I wouldn't say it's one that's particularly a whip, in the sense of I don't have any set ideas of who I would like to do it for, how long I would like it to take me. It's just something that I kind of started because at the time I was kind of wanting to try out one of my new birthday designs, but as I've probably explained before, my Mirabilia is something that actually, to be honest with you, I have to be in a certain, I really like them, but I have to be in a certain mindset to do them, so we'll see. What's next? So there was kind of, I guess the next thing is just taking you through. I thought it might be nice to kind of go back into the treasure chest and look at my look at some of my designs that, oh no, sorry, bear with me. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you. So one of the designs that is an active whip, but I haven't had much time on it, is A Good Marriage by Lizzie Kate. When I last spoke to you, I was asking for opinions about how to word it for somebody that isn't going to get married, because I was thinking of doing it for me and my boyfriend. But to be honest, one of my friends who lives in Germany now, who I might see when we go on holiday to Berlin, she's recently got married, and I actually think that would be a really nice thing to give to her. So I'm under a little bit of pressure because she actually knows that I'm stitching something for her, and I kind of let it slip when I didn't really want to tell anybody. But I've done, when I look at it, I've done a bit more than what I remembered doing. So I've done that much. But I've got a long way to go. I'm about 1/7 of the way through or something. But Lizzie Kate's do, you know, they stitch up quite quickly actually. And if I was to concentrate on this after the daisies as well as the frosted pumpkin one, I should be able to get there. Sorry, I've got mind blank. I've been talking too long. So sorry. So the next thing was I just wanted to show you kind of some of the projects that you haven't seen for a very long time. Ones that, so last time I showed you projects that I have had some sort of active work on at some point. And now I'd like to show you ones that just have been completely neglected for ages, and what my plans are for them. So one of them is this. This is a gorgeous design, and it's called The Runaway. Some of you may remember that I had intentions of doing this for my niece, and surprise, surprise, it hasn't happened. I left it here. If I'm really honest, it's a bit of a big Ada for me. It's like, I think it's 14 count Ada. It's not exciting me very much. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not, you know, now that I know that it doesn't, and it's not likely to get used by anybody I know, I just feel a bit deflated about doing it. I've considered offering to kind of give it out to somebody that might be able to finish it in a nicer way for me, but then I look at it and it comes with like these sparkly things that I want to use at some point. But yeah, I'm not sure with this one. Like that might be one that I'm just going to have to think about. The one that's really neglected, and to be honest, I don't think I've done anything on this for about 6-7 years. It's Anchor Humphrey's Corner Counted Cross Stitch. I think I had one afternoon in the last couple of years where I did a little bit of work on it. It's a height chart, and to be honest, I'm not that keen on it anymore. I think my taste has changed, and I've only ever done this small amount here at the bottom. So yeah, I kind of feel like that's one of the ones that I'm not excited about. Even when I look at it now, I think, well, I don't know. So I'm going to have a think about it and see if there's someone I can pass it along to finish it, or perhaps just put it down the list and it will be something that maybe in 10 years time when I feel like it I can get it out again. The next one that I haven't even started, but one that I would like to get started on it next. Hello everybody, so my webcam stopped me because I was an hour in, so you will have probably not heard the last thing that I said. So I was talking about the Henry VIII design, and I was just saying that my brother at one point, I thought I might make it for him, but to be honest, I don't think he's going to be that fussed about it. So I think probably I'm going to make this for myself at some point, but we'll see. This is one I'd like to get done next year, but we'll see how it goes. So I have this one. My boyfriend got me this. This is the snowman and the snow dog. I got this last Christmas. At the time I was quite excited because my cousin has the same one and we were stitching it together. If I'm honest, I'm not sure I'm gonna do much with this at any point soon. I can't even tell what way up that goes. That's all I've done so far. But it would be, you know, something that I'll get done eventually, but again, probably not a priority one. Just thought it might be nice to show you some of the kits that I've had lying around for a while and kind of clear them out. This one I haven't started yet, so this is a design that my cousin got me for my, I think it must be Christmas rather than birthday. Yeah, I really like this one. I'm just trying to think of, because this is one that I want to get done this year, and it's small, so I'm thinking what I could do is probably fit it in as a kind of, you know, quick stitch type thing. And I just need to do some charting to put the right address on for me. But I thought that's really nice, and I actually think things like this that are kind of a monogram one, so not monogram, monochrome one, I thought it might be good to test out some of my kind of satiny threads that are variegated to see how they come out, so I might swap the threads for that. This is a Heaven and Earth book I was really kindly given by a pen pal in the Netherlands. I'm a bit sad actually because I haven't heard anything from her for ages, and I'm not sure if everything's okay because she had a few health issues. This is a really lovely design. It's the design for those of you that are Heaven and Earth fans that would like to find it, and I know it's still on there. So the artwork's by Josephine Wall, and it's called Minerva's Melody. It's the whole book of charts for that. So it's something I'd like to keep, but because it's a Heaven and Earth design, I think this is going to be one that will probably be waiting a while before I do much with it. So this is one I really want to pick up again. So this was my Native American Woman. I had a few issues with this. At some point I got really out of whack with it and I completely messed up on my counting. I didn't really correct it either, so there are times when I'm stitching on it I kind of end up stopping, not because I'm not enjoying it, but because it's starting to get tedious because I'm trying to remember how to work out the difference in what I've done. But looking at it now, I can't see any kind of obvious glaring places where there's a problem. I really like this one. I think the colours really pop on this background, and actually it's a shame that you can't see it the way I see it because it actually looks better than that in person. It's a really nice colour fabric to kind of, you know, make the colours in it sort of stand out. But I just haven't touched it for a while. I haven't done anything on it for about a year actually, because I know that I bought it to my friend's wedding in Kefalonia last August, so or last July, sorry. So I actually think it would be quite nice to get that going again next year. So can't remember if I said anything about this in the last one, but this is Gold Collection Reefable Seasons, and I got this at some point about a year ago, I think, online, just because I wanted a treat to kind of cheer myself up a bit. And to be honest with you, I haven't done an awful lot on it, but I really like the design. All I've done is one F for fall and a little bit of a brown leaf. I'd like to kind of get back into it because it's really nice, but I do know it's going to be very similar to the design I did for my grandma. There's lots of confetti stitching, and it's going to be lots of kind of fiddly changes. And at the moment I'm quite enjoying projects where there's more block stitching and I can see more progress. So I don't think this is going to be one that's going to be an absolute priority, but I would like to get it done at one point. I don't think I need to get this out again, but we all know what happened. This was the gold collection dimensions. I got so far and I just completely messed it up. So I'm going to get another Ada hopefully and try and rescue this one from the brink of complete despair. I can't remember, I don't think in the last video where I showed you this, so you'll remember that I got this Mirabilia, which is a Royal Holiday. It's funny because I've seen a couple of Flosstubers start this recently, and as I said, I kind of got to a point with it where I was just so kind of, I'd been doing it for ages, and I think I'd put all this pressure on myself last year to finish it for Christmas, and then in kind of November time I just reached the conclusion that this isn't going to happen, and I just kind of let myself off the hook with it. And since then it's been sitting more or less. I've done bits and pieces to it, but now I look back and I'm kind of ready to start some work back on it when I get the chance, because look how much I did. I did absolutely loads, and it was kind of like running a marathon, and you get so far and you just can't quite finish that last hurdle. So there's an awful lot of her skirt still to do. I think in terms of my time and in terms of realistically how I'll be able to work on it, I shouldn't imagine this being done until this time next year. But I'm a bit reassured looking at it that actually I did get a hell of a lot done. I haven't bought some of the Krennic and the beads yet, because I kind of actually quite sensibly for once decided that I didn't want to do it until I'd actually kind of got to a kind of end stage with it. So it's not one that's going to be a top priority, but it's one that I would like to kind of revisit and do something on. This one actually I did start it. Sorry, it's very temperamental this. This is really screwed up, but this was a design. If you drop it, pick it up. If you wear it, hang it up. If it rings, answer it. If it opens, close it. And this is, I had done that much. Oh, it's so screwed up. I have a feeling actually that some of these I showed you, because some of these are ones that I had plans for. So I'm going to try and just focus on the ones where you definitely haven't seen them for a long time and you would have forgotten about them. So otherwise I kind of worry that I'm just repeating myself on videos and you're going to get really bored. Yeah, I think I've mentioned those. Okay, great. Any others? I don't know if I mentioned this. This was the gold collection, Woodland Enchantress, and I hadn't. My mum's got the kind of companion one to this, the autumn one. I've only done this much of mine, which is kind of some of the skirt where it sweeps. It would take me a long time to get any progress on this, but I would actually like to pick this up again next year, because I actually think I could kind of get restarted on this. It's actually one of those kits, I don't know if you have these, where those of you that like me through Flosstube and everything else have kind of got into cross stitch, kind of fallen back in love with it and kind of got more advanced in your stitching. It's one of those ones that I look back on and I can look at the stitching and think actually I can do better than that now, and I can tell that I would get through it quicker and it wouldn't take me as long. So it's kind of reassuring to know I can kind of start again with it. Not start again completely, but I think, I'm just trying to think if there's anything. To be honest with you, I think that really is the bulk of all of the stuff that I've got. So apart from, I have got one box which I'll probably show you another time, which is full of all of these kind of mini, just to kind of grab a few, all of these kind of, oh my god, it's gone everywhere, all these kind of mini charts and things. And I kind of tend to neglect them because I'm not really into mini charts, so I kind of put them in a box, and I've got plans that are kind of lunch club that I've set up at work to teach people cross stitch with a few of the smaller ones, especially the Christmas ones nearer the time. So I tend to kind of leave them alone, but it might be nice to show you some of the ones that I've got and what issues and what magazines they come from. So that was a very long video. I think by the time this finishes it'll be about 1 hour and a quarter. Not as long as some of my videos, but so I'm sorry that it kind of went on so much. I'm also, sorry if you've seen a lot of this information before. But I just wanted to kind of refresh where I'm at. It's kind of, you know, it's the last 3 months of the year now. We're all kind of in that Christmas stitching zone. I've done a lot of looking at Pinterest, getting ideas for Christmas, and putting a new wish list together on Etsy, which perhaps is something for next time. And I'm kind of want to be in the Christmas stitching zone, but I think my kind of thing at the moment is getting this daisy stitch done. So I guess in terms of things that I want to be actively working on after my daisy stitch is over, I would like to get my frosted pumpkin finished in time for a Christmas present for my cousin, and that'll be one Christmas present done and no money that I'll need to spend on it. I'd like to get the Lizzie Kate A Good Marriage done for my friend, ideally by end of November, which is when I'm going out to Berlin, when hopefully I'll see her. There's nothing else that's absolutely essential that I get done before Christmas. Those are the two projects that I'm kind of promising myself to get done. But there are things that I would like to start kind of working on next year. So one of the things I'd like to try next year is to try not to try out not putting so many deadlines on myself and so much pressure. I think it's okay to say I'd like to do this project for somebody, but what I tend to do is start thinking, well, I've got to get it done before this particular time, like their birthday or Christmas. Actually, I just want to be able to stitch, and I kind of feel like recently I've only stitched, particularly with the daisies and with these couple of projects, I've kind of only stitched with a kind of background of knowing that I need to get something done for a certain time, and it would be quite nice just to do it out of pure enjoyment, really. So that's probably my kind of anti-goal for 2017, is to not have to think like that and just really just go with the flow. And I've got a really expensive couple of months coming up with all of these trips away, and I'm really aware that this Christmas is going to be a bit of a budget Christmas. I'd love to say I can cross-stitch small little things for people's presents, but I don't want to put that pressure on myself. But it also means that I probably am not going to be able to really afford to get any new projects until the new year. So I'm going to try and exercise restraint until December. I'm going to put wish lists together for my Christmas list for my family, because we're quite big on Christmas, and whether I protest about it or not, they'll still buy me presents because they're lovely. So I think what I might do is make my Christmas list this year completely cross-stitch, so that, you know, I know that there's a possibility of having some projects to look forward to for my presents. So I think that's it. I think I've probably spoken you to complete boredom by now. I kind of have a sense that this wasn't the most exciting video for you to watch. But I hope you did enjoy it, and thank you again for watching. Again, who knows when my next video will be. Hopefully it will be within the next month or so, but realistically we could be fast forwarding to November when my next vlog is. So in case I don't speak to you for a while, have a fantastic month or so. If you're going away anywhere for a holiday, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.